Look at the volume.
Let's just jump right in. I hate walking around with wet hair, so let me show you how I diffuse my hair to get frizz-free, voluminous waves. Ooh, I got some juicy clumps this time. Okay, step 1. Removing excess water. You can use a microfiber towel or an old cotton t-shirt for this process. I'm using an old microfiber head wrap. We are going to scrunch out excess water from our hair. I cup my palms and gently collect my hair in the towel, move up and close to the scalp and scrunch 3 times. Gently. Open my palms and come back down. Gently. 3 important points here. Being slow, being gentle, and bending your head so that you and your hands can reach close to the scalp. Provide access to the scalp. This will give much more even results. And this process is called microplopping. This is going to remove excess water from your hair without making it frizzy. But this process can also remove some product which can cause frizz once your hair is dry. So I like to add a lightweight foam post microplopping. You can also use the gel you use to style your hair, but emulsify it well with water before you do this. You're going to gently glaze your palms over your hair to spread the product. Watch yourself in the mirror when you do this and try to mimic what I'm doing. Do not put too much pressure on your hair while doing this or you will get wonky results. Do a very gentle scrunch at the end, or you can skip the scrunch if you think it'll make your hair frizzy, because we're going to scrunch with the diffuser again at a later point. And don't forget to apply some product to the back of your head. This will make sure that the back of your head does not get frizzy. Remember, that gets the most friction. You're going to touch your head to multiple surfaces like car seats, bus seats, train seats, sofa, bed, multiple things. So back of your head needs a lot of protection. If at any point in this process your palms feel sticky, immediately stop and add water. Emulsify the product in your palms and then go back. Do not touch your hair with sticky palms. It is going to cause frizz. Step 2. Drying my scalp. This is where I start. My diffuser is set to medium heat and medium speed. I start by exposing my scalp and then placing the diffuser on my head and let it sit there for 10 seconds. Then move the diffuser by a few centimeters and then dry another spot. I basically bend my head such that my hair is falling freely and it is not touching my skin or my clothes as much. Less friction means less frizz. And I do this step in 2 major positions. My hair completely upside down or my head upside down and then my head right side up. So basically I first dry the back of my head and then the top of my head. Drying your scalp first means there's going to be a lot more volume. With the weight of wet hair, the roots can straighten out pretty quickly. Also, you avoid headaches and colds when you dry your scalp first. Step 3. Hover diffusing. Once your scalp is almost dry, it's time to dry your lens. But that does not mean you start scrunching your hair with the diffuser because that will cause a lot of frizz. Instead, hold the diffuser at some distance and dry your lens. This is also going to start the process of creating a gel cast, which will help protect your hair while it's drying from getting frizzy. I do this for some time till I start feeling the slight hardness from the gel. While you do this, bend your head in different directions to expose all the wet areas. But do not flip your hair. Instead, gently turn your head. The hair closer to your scalp will be wetter than the ends, so you can place the diffuser close to this area and hold it steady for a few seconds to dry it faster. After doing this for some time, I try to touch my hair to see if certain areas are too wet and then diffuse them separately. Hold the diffuser steady for some time to dry a particular area. At this point, my hair is 50 to 60% dry and has started to form that gel cast and is also looking good. Step 4. Pixie diffusing. The process of placing your hair in the diffuser, coming up and close to the scalp, turning it on, letting it stay there for a few minutes, turning it off before you come down is called pixie diffusing. And let me show you how to do it correctly. Pinch your hair between your fingers, place it on the diffuser, then place your fingers slightly higher, pinch your hair again, move the diffuser up, and then go close to the scalp. Don't just scrunch immediately. This will make sure that the hair is sitting in the diffuser properly and not spreading out too much, causing frizz. Remember, pinch your hair between your fingers before you move the diffuser higher so that the hair sits inside the diffuser instead of spreading out too much. I do this all over my head for a few times and you can see the area that is pixie diffused is slightly wavier than the other side. It might look like I'm too rough with my hair, but trust me, I'm being very gentle. I'm trying to touch it as less as possible. Already looking so good. My hair growing at the crown of my head is slightly straighter than the hair at the back of my head, so I diffuse it for longer so that it's wavier and my hair overall looks more even. And also, the wavier your hair or the curlier your hair, the more voluminous it is. So I like to diffuse it longer. At this point, my hair is like 80% dry, so I start finding areas that could be more wet and diffuse them with hover diffusing. And you can see that I'm flipping my hair because I'm way more confident. It's drier. It will not get as frizzy if you flip when it's completely wet.
Okay, at this point, I sometimes just walk around till it's completely dry. I keep, gently touching my hair to feel it because it's dry on top. But when you touch a clump, I can feel it's wet on the inside. So I wait for it to, completely dry, just going about my day. But if I have to go outside, then I just wait for 5 minutes because even that does a great deal. And then gently, break the cast so that the wet hair from the inside is exposed, and then just diffuse a little bit. I never go out with even slightly wet hair because that is the recipe for frizz. All of this work will be just, so don't do that. Okay, so my hair is like 99% dry. I can feel few kind of, wet cold pieces here and there. And I'm going out and I want to go out with really dry hair. So because of that, I'm gently going to scrunch out a little bit of the, crunch, the cast my hair is in. You can see they're kind of, thin looking clumps. And that will expose the inner wet hair. And I can, quickly diffuse that again. So let's do that. You can always use an oil for this, but I don't. So I sometimes do, but not always. Okay. I'm just going to start with the scalp. So insert your fingers. Don't just, okay. Insert your fingers and this will gently break the cast around your scalp. And if you have finger rings that will catch onto the hair, just remove them. I don't because I don't mind the frizz. Gently. My scalp is completely dry, which is why I start with it, because by the end it'll be dry. Okay. So when I insert my fingers, I can feel the slightly wet bits. So be very gentle when you're doing this. Instead of being rough with your hair to remove the cast, which I usually like to do when my hair is 100% dry because it creates a level of frizz and lots of volume, I'll be gentle because wet hair creates frizz pretty quick. So just gently, just squeezing my hair between my palms. It's already opening up my hair a little bit. And I can feel a lot more, wet areas now because they're exposed. But this will not create a lot of frizz. Be gentle with your hair. And now I'm just going to hover dry. I usually like to keep the diffuser at high speed and medium warm setting. Doing this for like 5 minutes. So I'll be back to scrunch out the crunch. I'm ready. Let's make my hair even bigger. So I start by moving my fingers really roughly around my scalp and then scrunching.
At this point, make sure you do not run your fingers through your hair, basically finger combing them, because you'll end up opening the clumps and cause frizz. Always insert your fingers gently close to the scalp and massage it with your palm, or basically ruffle the scalp with your palm. Now you can start scrunching your hair and remove the rest of the cast. You can always just let it be so that the cast protects your hair from getting frizzy and it will break throughout the day. If you did not break your cast gently in the previous step, and let your hair air dry, you will have a much stronger cast at this point, and you can decide whether to break it or not. If you're just going to sleep on your hair after this, it will break throughout the night. So you can definitely skip breaking the cast.
And voila! Look at the volume. Inside curls are also looking so good. And there's definitely a little bit of frizz going on, and that's going to give you a good amount of volume. Don't be afraid of the frizz, don't. So that's my diffusing routine. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll try and answer them. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, I need to leave.